It would appear that Crysencio Summerville is attracting quite a lot more interest than just Manchester United. I say just, they're one of the biggest, if not the biggest club in England. But there's also some other clubs that have come into focus. One of them is Chelsea, our London rivals. The other is a little bit further afield, and we're talking about Galatasaray, the Turkish super team. They want him on loan. Interesting one. I want to talk about the Chelsea one first, though, and I want, obviously, your interaction. So there should be, I believe, a comment section below. Get stuck into that. Let me know your thoughts. Chelsea, obviously, they signed a year ago, they signed two wingers in Jamie Bino-Gittins and Alejandro Garnacho. Now, I think it's fair to say that neither of these have worked out particularly well. Chelsea are looking to refresh their options on the left wing. Enter Crysencio Summerville. And I think it's fair to say that I think we're accepting that he's not going to be a West Ham player once that transfer window shuts. I think it's 11 p.m. on the 1st of September is when it shuts. I'll have to double check that, but I'm pretty sure that's there or thereabouts right. So I sort of ask myself the question, and I'd be interested to know what you think about this. Does that present an opportunity for West Ham to go back to Chelsea and say, actually, as part of the deal, instead of it just being a straight cash deal, can we leverage in maybe a player? Now, whether that would be on a loan with an option to buy or a permanent, bear with me, because the player that I'm specifically thinking about is Axel Disasi. He obviously came in last season, had a great impact, and unfortunately, we didn't manage to survive in the Premier League. I think that had we survived in the Premier League, I think that by now, in all likelihood, Axel Disasi would be a West Ham United player. Because of the drop, it's not been ratified as he's not been ratified as a West Ham player for next season, be it on a permanent or maybe a resurrection of another loan deal. And I understand that. I dare say Disasi wants to review his options. But don't forget, Axel, your aunt is a West Ham fan. So you don't want to let her down now, do you? If you're appreciating the content on the West Ham Massive, do me a huge favour. If you could tap that thumbs up button, that is what spurs the old YouTube algorithms into life and lets people know that I'm putting out some halfway decent content and maybe kicks it out to some other people that might be interested. If you would also do us a favour and share this content onto your social media platform, I would appreciate it. You should also find in the top left-hand corner, there is a QR code. Now, if you're not already subscribed, and there's about 60% of the people that have watched this content in the last 28 days that are not subscribed, as I understand it, it would be really appreciated by me if you could subscribe to the channel. Bear in mind that subscribing is free of charge and we don't get any data sensitive information. It simply grows the channel into something bigger than what you find it. I looked a little bit earlier and we're on just short of 2,200 subscribers. We need another 3 to hit that waypoint. Really do appreciate your support. So if you get out your mobile device and scan that QR code that's in the top left-hand corner, it will take you to our YouTube subscription page and you can join the West Ham Massive, which is growing by the day. Appreciate your support. So I would be really interested to see if we could get Axel Disasi, if we're going to go there, if we're going to do business with Chelsea on Crysencio Summerville, I'd be very keen to get that as part of the deal. Whether it would be another loan, I don't know, or whether we could do, let's say, an option to buy at the end of the loan, or if it's straight part of the deal to get Crysencio Summerville. I dare say his preferred destination will be Manchester United, but maybe he might prefer to stay in London. You never know. You're probably wondering where I am. This is not my usual backdrop. Now, this is my second go at recording this video. I'm actually at Southwark College on the Cut. If any of you know South London, you might know this little part of the world. It's right opposite Southwark Underground Station. I'm here today doing some interviews for my day job. So I actually did my first attempt at this video. I was on the roof terrace on the 6th, 7th floor. One side of the building, you've got the London Eye. The other side of the building, you had the Shard, and I got all this in shot. The problem was that it's quite hot up there, and my phone didn't like it none too much, and mid-record, it aborted mission. So I've just come down here. It's a little booth that they've got. It's much, much cooler, so my phone should be a lot happier. Back to Crysencio Summerville. The other club that's interested, Galatasaray. Now, my initial reaction was, nah, but let's not have it any other way. Galatasaray are a huge team. Huge team, one of the big 3 in Turkey, along with Besiktas and Fenerbahce. So in terms of them being able to appeal to Summerville by saying, every year we will have European football, and more often than not, it will be Champions League football. That could be a hell of a pull in terms of getting him through the door. That would be an interesting one. They've got some good players in Galatasaray, so I wouldn't dismiss that one out of hand. Another one that I want to sort of like talk about, though, I sort of, if I move on from Crysencio Summerville, he's the one that's going to dominate as far as an outgoing is concerned until that's done, because I think he's going to be the next one that walks out of the door for a decent chunk of change. But another player that's possibly looking at walking out of the door, and this is one that I saw literally in the last 20 minutes or so on the One Football app, is Wan Bissaka. Real shame, because the Wan Bissaka that we saw in the first season was a really, really capable player. In fact, let's not forget, he took away the Player of the Year award, the Hammer of the Year award 2 seasons ago. Last season, didn't quite go according to plan. He didn't show himself to be of the same standard. And it now appears that Arsenal are interested. Again, I'm just going to ask the question because there's a lot of strengthening we're going to need to do, and a lot of experience we might need to try and sort of recoup, if you will. And I'm asking myself the question because, of course, one of the players that would be probably the collateral damage from Arsenal's point of view if they sign Wan Bissaka would be Ben White. So I'm asking the question again, if this happened, if Wan Bissaka went to the Emirates, could there be scope to maybe do some sort of player plus cash swap, similar to what I'm talking about with Summerville? Could we get the Axel Disasi deal revived if he goes to Chelsea? As I say, I suspect he will, in all honesty, go to Manchester United still, but you never know. It's another option. But with Wan Bissaka, if he does go to the Emirates, could we maybe get part of the deal? Would it include maybe Ben White coming the other way? Let's not forget, I know possibly you could say he's past his best and all the rest of it, hence why Arsenal are looking to get in reinforcements at right back. But let's not forget that Ben White can also operate as a centre-back as well as a right back. He's got that versatility about him. I think he can also play at defensive mid as well. Another player also that probably we also need to talk about, obviously in the wake of England's result against Mexico last night, or early hours of this morning, more to the point, Edson Álvarez. Because obviously, let's not forget, he's still a West Ham player. And he said that in an interview just before the England game that he will be reporting for duty. He's made that point, unless, obviously, someone comes in for him. Now, I think it would be easy to forget that Edson Álvarez is still a West Ham United player. But I haven't. And I don't think that we should really sort of turn our noses up. He's Mexico's captain. He's got a lot of experience. I think he could be maybe someone that's quite useful. I think my concern is, though, that he's fallen out with a number of managers now. Is it an attitude? Is it a cultural thing? I don't know. But maybe, just maybe, Nuno might want to have a little look at him in pre-season. So could Edson Álvarez maybe be a little bit of magic stardust that we sprinkle over next season in the Championship? Like I say, he can operate at centre-back. He's played mainly at defensive mid. He was effectively Declan Rice's replacement, let's not forget. Not quite to the same standard, unfortunately. It is what it is, but I don't think that he should be a player that should be discarded. I don't think he should be a player that's forgotten about. He is a quality operator, let's make no mistake. Gustavo, very likely going to be confirmed in the next day or two. In fact, by the time this video goes out, he might have already been confirmed as a West Ham United player. As Mickey Flanagan would say, the deal is done, but the deal's not done. Until it's not done until you've got the photograph on the website and all that. I suspect that probably a lot of the promotional stuff and the photographs have probably already been done. Maybe it's just the question of just announcing it as far as that's concerned. That's not been done yet. But what do you think about any of these stories that we're talking about? Crysencio Summerville, as I say, he's still attracting interest. 2 more clubs have come into focus now. Chelsea's one of them, Galatasaray is the other. In terms of the Chelsea one, and this is not something I'm saying has been discussed. This is just me thinking out loud. Could this possibly present an opportunity for us to get a player in part exchange? And the specific player that I would be interested in getting would be Axel Disasi, getting him back in as centre-back. Moving on, Wan Bissaka is attracting interest from Arsenal. Again, could we possibly maybe get Ben White in part exchange? Or is there another player that you'd like in both of these deals? If there is any player plus cash option that we could look to suit, is there another name that you would be interested in getting in from either Chelsea or Arsenal, respectively? And then also Gustavo, the deal is expected to be done in the next couple of days. And Edson Álvarez, like I say, very much a forgotten man in the eyes of some people. I've not forgotten about him. And I think if you watch his performances at the World Cup, maybe you'll realise, maybe you'll sit up and take notice and remember he's still a West Ham United player and he's intending to come back. Unless someone puts a bid in, he's intending to come back. That could really bolster the squad. Like I say, he brings a bit of versatility, centre-back, defensive midfield options. Maybe Nuno might have a look at him. We've got the first pre-season friendly coming up in about a week and a bit. Nearly just under 2 weeks it is actually. 18th of July, Roots Hall, Southend. I've got a little bit of material that I've put together over the weekend for that, which will be coming out on the channel in the coming days or whatever. So anyway, get your comments in the section below, your thoughts on all of these things and anything else you want to get in off your chest much more besides. Don't forget to drop a like on the stream. That is what helps the YouTube algorithms push this content out to places otherwise it might not get. And if you could take out your mobile device, you will see in the top left hand corner a QR code. Scanning that will take you to our YouTube subscription page. Subscribing is free of charge, data safe. It just helps to grow the channel into something bigger and better than what it is as you find it, and maybe consider sharing this content on your social media platforms. Right, that's it from me. I'm going to disappear and I will speak to you again soon. Come on, you Irons.